Hey, welcome along. We're here with Mick Storch from 4PS and Mackay Safety, talking about the capabilities that 4PS and Mackay Safety especially have within the civil construction industry. Mick, welcome along.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Great to be here.
We've spoken about many industries today and how you help people. Basically creating safer workplaces, but also winning contracts, getting policies and procedures in place. Tell us about some of the wins you've had in the civil construction industry.
Yeah, so we help. Again, it's around that small, medium businesses, generally a mum and dad business that's grown and things like that. The focus now is more compliance requirements, so systems and procedures and right trainings and right inspections on equipment and things like that. So we generally help them through the whole life cycle, from the point of view of when they're doing tendering. You know, they need help to make sure that they're filling the tenders out correctly, even sometimes making sure they're pricing it correctly and things like that. And then from that, essentially, if they win the work, then make sure they've got the systems process in place, and then how they track and manage all those things thereafter as such. Yeah.
And bundled together, so it's easy to understand, and like we've spoken about in another podcast that you can find online on the 4PS and Mackay Safety site. It's having one hand talk to the other, where things aren't getting lost between spreadsheets and paperwork and updating things. It's all in the one bundle.
Yeah, correct. So you have to have the system, which is the procedures and manuals, and then the process, which is essentially the making sure that the communication between the field and the projects and the office are working well, and it's endless as such, and so that the right information supplied, so the right tickets and the right authorizations, the right equipment inspections, regos, and then the information coming back that toolbox meetings and even down to the fact of timesheets to pre-starts, those sorts of things. So the information is flowing, and then ultimately, when the information is all there, then you're more successful at the business, basically, in the project.
Completely. So everything from small contractors maybe running 10 to 15 blokes up to hundreds.
Even smaller than that. So even like a 5 or 6 person business up to the hundreds type thing. So and essentially, there's really no difference between the bottom one and the top one. It's just that how much help that they need. Sometimes they have their internal people that just need help, and then sometimes they need lots of personal help from us, so which we do particularly for those small, medium type businesses.
Yeah, and it's great. It's come through in a number of our conversations that you're here to help people grow. Some businesses are in massive growth phases, taking on bigger jobs. That's
interesting to say. We can probably list off many businesses that were just a small business who have multi-million-dollar contracts. I guarantee it.
Yes, no, and we know know some of them personally, and there's some great success stories there where without your help, it wouldn't have gone that way.
It's not something I probably talk about or think about too much. Like I do see, all of a sudden they need us, and then they don't need us, and they're all of a sudden going and you've got hundreds of people and heaps of equipment. There's been some really good success stories that maybe one day they'll share that story. I don't know. So, yeah.
No, and it's interesting that what we found is your experience across these multi-industries and obviously legislation from some of the strictest and safest sites in the world that's carrying on into civil construction. Do you think that's really helped you understand?
Yeah, so it's just applying the same principle and just balancing enough information but not too much information so that it's understandable. If it's just mum and dad, that they may not need the whole system. They just might need a swim and a few forms and things like that, versus having to implement a safety management system to inductions until, the software for tracking the trainings and all those things, down to doing the digital forms in the field. So, yeah, it's just that balancing act and understanding where they're at and where they want to be.
So, and do you find the 4P mobile is used greatly within the civil construction?
Yeah, we're definitely getting there with that, and it's quite diverse. It really shows the diversity in what we do. So we've got your everyday civil contractor with machines and digging holes and trenches and all those things, down to where we've got people on roads that do line marking, and they have to put GPS points and take photos to make sure that they can prove. Like, it was a real game changer for those guys. They work in the capital city, and they've been approached to do more things. So yeah.
Awesome. No more success stories from Mick Storch, 4PS and Mackay Safety. Thanks for coming along.
Great, mate. Thank you. See you.